Hope everyone practiced a little self-love also today, because that's the most important. Well, second to God, then it's the most important. Looks like Cherie's getting us situated with the streaming. And then Cherie titled this session, the love session. Y'all saw the advertisements. She got a lot of good news to share and a lot of love to share. Yes, we got even more good news today. Hello, Cherie.
Hello, everybody. Yes, I'm getting set up. That's fine. I'm trying to get in here a few minutes in advance so that we could start right on time. Hello, everybody. Happy V-Day.
Yeah, you know, we're your early birds.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Hi, Beulah. Hi, Charlotte. Hi, Edna. Hi, Nola. Felicia. Gaya. I hope I pronounced that right. Otisa, Sharnetta, Trinette. Hello, hello, hello.
Don't forget to put your city and state in the chat so we can recognize you. Good to see everybody today. How are you, Tawana?
I am wonderful today.
It's not like we haven't been talking to each other.
I know, all day.
Then I come here and I'm like, I feel odd saying it to you because it's like, oh, we've been emailing each other.
That's the first time we've seen each other today, though.
Yes, it is. It is. But you look fabulous.
Same to you, my dear.
So I'm going to also ask everybody in YouTube, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. In Facebook, we're on Twitter. I think I was logging into the wrong Twitter account last week because I'm like, how'd we get suspended? We didn't do anything. Like I have a whole lot of stuff I could get suspended for. But we're back on Twitter. Everything is cool with Jack Dorsey and us, or Jack Dorsey is no longer in charge over there, but whomever it is running the Twitter over there. So yeah, so usually, Tawana, we do something around equity crowdfunding, try to teach somebody lessons and things like that. But today was Valentine's Day, and the more I thought about it, the more I'm like, do we really want to do the heavier thing that I was thinking, or do we just want to do something light and fun and all of that stuff? And we decided to err on the lighter side. Well, actually, I put it out there, and Tamana's like, "What you mean, love? What you talking about?"
I said, "What you got?" Because y'all know, Cherie always doing something, right? And y'all have learned, for all of you regulars, you've learned by now that sometimes I hear the topic when you hear the topic, right?
A lot of times she does.
My face sometimes. I'm like, what you talking about? So when I saw the love one go out, I said, what we doing about love now? Who's loving who? What's going on?
We loving each other. That's right. Loving our families, loving our boo things, whomever you're loving tonight. We're glad that you took a chance to also love the 10K project. So we're going to officially get started. Hi, everybody. I am Cherie. I'm the founder of the 10K project. This is the beautiful Tawana on the other screen here. We are the largest community of investors who actively fund Black-owned businesses. So the idea came about because I am a business plan writer. I've been one for 11 years now, and I would have so many people come to me wanting funding. That's the reason why most people get business plans. My clients from other ethnicities would be able to take my business plan, take it to the rich aunt, the rich uncle, other people that they knew, and they were able to more easily raise funds than Black clients that I had. And I began to say now it's been 4 years ago now, hey, if 10,000 of us just came together and put in $100 each, we could fund our own businesses. We don't have to wait for the banks and other people to fund our businesses. We can fund our own businesses and we can profit from our own innovation. We can create jobs in the community, and we can work together to build Black wealth. So I said it one too many times. And in a session, closed door session, it was 5 of us. Tawana looks at me after I said it again and said, when are you going to do something about that? And that was how the 10K project came about. So earlier today, I was on the phone with the gentleman who is coming to the 10K project, who has bought $1.6 billion worth of companies. That's how much he has acquired in companies,
Billion with a
1.6
B.
billion. And I heard him on another podcast. And I said, would you please come and speak to the 10K project? And he said, well, what is this all about? And what does 10K mean? And when I told him, he's like, yeah, you're the kind of people that I want to come and speak with. So he's coming in May. But the reason that I'm telling you this, every once in a while, I like to bring it up, is because that's how 10K got its name. And we are on a mission now to get our first 10,000 members. We are close to 2,000. We have now put our foot on the gas in order to get more members coming through. We have some alliances coming through. We have some advertising that we're doing. We have a few new members that have come in over the weekend, thanks to our Shop Black article. So I want to thank Tony very much for that. And yeah, I mean, look, 2022, we believe that we are going to do something really significant. And Tawana, why don't you tell people a little bit about yourself and the results of the 2021 survey and all the other stuff that we have going on?
Absolutely. So my name is Tawana Rivers. I am the Chief Operating Officer and co-founder here at the 10K Project. And, this has been a wonderful, wonderful journey. And for all of you who are already members, I just want to take a moment and thank you for coming along for the ride. When Cherie says we're going to put our foot on the gas, she's absolutely right. These last 2 years, we've kind of been proving the concept, right? We know this is a great idea. We believe that we can fund Black businesses this way and build portfolios for ourselves as investors this way, and start to experience that wealth that we're all looking for, right? So we believe it. And so we had to kind of prove it out these last 2 years to make sure that it was something that was possible, right? That it wasn't just, two people who were optimistic thinking something could work and everybody else to be like, this is crazy. And so, now we know we can do it. And part of that knowing is because we have a community of faithful investors and entrepreneurs that join, like yourselves, that join us every week. We know that we can do this because you guys filled out the investor survey. And I'm going to say only 200 of you filled it out. So this is good news. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm not chastising, right? So only 200 of you filled it out. So we've got 2,000 paid members that come to the Bet on Black Pictures, right? Or watch the replays. We've got 6,000 in the Facebook group, but these 2,000 are the ones that we were really looking for this information from. Only 200 of you filled out our investor survey, and we learned that we have raised over $300,000 for founders. You want me to say that again?
March. That's not even a full year.
That's not even a full year. That's from March of 2021 to December. All of those companies we put on the investor survey, and you guys filled out and told us if you invested and if so, how much, right? Very simple information. Over $300,000. And that was only with 200 of you filling that out. So we know we can do this, right? We know we can do it. The founders are super excited about us. We've got founders coming, asking, can they come back, right? I had a founder ask me, can they come back in March? I was like, March is already booked. I hated to say no because it's one of my favorite founders. They're all my favorite, but I'm going to say it's my favorite. But I had to say no because we're booked already. I'm already booked through like the second week of April already. And so we know this thing is a thing now. And so now it's time to really share this with our family and friends, right? If you were just feeling us out before and now you've been around for a few months or for a whole year with us, we want you to believe in us enough to share us with your family and friends, because if we could do, let's just say that only the 200 of you that filled out the survey invested, right? Let's say the other 1,400 didn't. Let's just say. That's still amazing, right? That's still amazing that we've raised that much money in so little time. And so that means that we've got founders who were able to get to the next level of their business, right? Of their journey. Maybe they were able to get their prototypes. Maybe they were able to finally pay for manufacturing. Maybe they were finally able to get a team in place. Like, who knows what they were able to do, but we helped make it happen. And so we can do so much more. That, you know, that news just really put a fire under Cherie and I, because we were like, wow, like we knew we were making an impact, right? But it was like seeing the numbers was like, wow, like we surprised ourselves. I can only imagine if more people filled out the survey, what that number would be. And we want to, you know, we want to celebrate you guys. We want to, you know, figure out how to put that on the website somewhere, that so when people come here on the website, they see that you guys are not playing. And I say you guys because that's all you, right? That's all our investor community, right? Cherie and I didn't invest that much, right, by ourselves. That's all you guys. And so when people come to this community, we want to highlight that on the website and celebrate you so that they know our investor community is not about playing games. You guys are really about building this wealth and taking this journey. So I'm super excited. You know, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Not only that, we were featured in Essence on Essence. I didn't even know we were on Essence.com. I was looking for something else and came across this article. We were featured on Earn Your Leisure, on Black Wealth Renaissance. We were just featured on Shop Black. We were featured on We Buy Black, and we're doing something else with them. People are loving what we're doing. People are loving this community. I have people who are allies of ours who are like, I'm not Black, but I really want to help. I'm like, the best thing you can do is be an investor and, you know, either come to the Bet on Black pitches, or if you're not available, when you get the email, then, you know, select some Black founders to help invest. So if you have non-Black friends, family, etc., and they want to help, they are more than welcome to be investors. The person who emailed me today not only is offering investment, but he's offering mentorship. But he's saying, is it okay for me to do that? And I'm like, absolutely. He's a retired CPA, you know? So we love and accept everyone here, but we do uplift the Black founder because so many Black founders need additional help. I no doubt believe we will be at 1 million members. I don't have any doubt in my mind that is going to happen. We have some big things in the works. Y'all know sometimes I'm a big thinker. I'm sitting in bed on what was it? It had to have been Thursday night, I think.
It was Thursday night, yeah.
And I'm like, I'm gonna tell everybody what I was thinking.
It was Thursday night, the email came.
Show. An email came to Taman and another person. I'm like, I wonder if we could get LeBron James to be our celebrity spokesperson. Like literally, that was like what the email roughly said. And I'm like, how about we get in touch with LeBron? What would we say to him? No, he'd be into it if all we could do is just let him know this is what we're doing. And he can get on the Breakfast Club and he can get this place and that place and tell everybody about the 10K project, right? So this is where my head is right now. Now, obviously we have some interim steps and things like that, but these
unless one of you has LeBron's number, then we don't have interim
steps. Then we don't have to have any interim
right?
Because LeBron could just call Charlemagne and it could be a wrap, right? You know? LeBron could call Kamala Harris, who could call the SBA and say, y'all better put some funds on the side for the 10K project. So, you know, but so I'll let people know that one of the things we are talking about is because Black America really does love celebrity, and we looked at Greenwood and how they were able to grow because of Killer Mike's involvement. Yeah, one of the things we're asking ourselves is there the right mixture of a celebrity who still would represent us well and has a business side to them and could get on the Breakfast Club and all of these shows and talk about the 10K project like Killer Mike was able to talk about Greenwood. So if y'all have ideas, we will accept them. I have two people in mind, but they're like super over the top. But even I'm open to suggestions. I'm open to
So,
like if you
so
were
I
like
have a
that celebrity
confession.
would be great, then let me
So when
know.
Cherie, I have a confession. So when Cherie's email came out on Thursday, I read it and I was like, here she go again. And then Friday, so then she and I talked. And then Friday night, after we talked, I was like, I get to dream big too. Because, typically I'm kind of the conservative one, right? I said, I get to dream big too. I said, if she could get LeBron, what about Barack? It's his Jobs Act. I was like, don't play. I know how to dream big now. I said, now that's where this all started. There you go. That's the celebrity right there.
That is the celebrity right there. Absolutely. Somebody put in Tyler Perry or Kevin Hart. That could be it. Tyler Perry actually could be an interesting one because he is, like you all are saying, the right mixture of celebrity plus business plus actually powernomics, if you think about it, because he hires, Black actors and Black people behind the
Built his
scenes.
own
And
studio. So he's all for the,
yeah, he's
build
in
our
real
own.
estate.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody mentioned Serena Williams. Okay, all right. Look, we gonna need some big corporate dollars behind us. But look, I don't think that anything is impossible. So
Yeah, Serena's a good fit too because Serena
she's a
just
good
gave
fit.
one of our founders Track Flow. Serena just invested in his business, $1
Yeah,
million
we were going to
she
talk
gave
about
him.
that during our good news
Mm-hmm.
section. Yeah, so I like the Serena Williams idea very much as well. Yeah, so y'all keep the ideas coming, definitely. Um, Also, if you know any like church organizations that really like my father, y'all probably don't know this. My father was actually a gospel musician, part-time. He had like a full-time job, but then on the weekends he would play in the church and things like that. He was actually pretty well known, especially in southeastern part of the United States. And he used to belong to the Southern Black Baptist Convention many years ago. So if any of you know, like anybody who is influential in any of those conventions, AME Church or anything like that, let us know that as well. We want to break into the church, not literally, but we are asking ourselves, how can we aim high and be able to let people higher up know what we're doing so that information can be disseminated. So we are dreaming big, and I personally know that most people are 3 degrees from separation. Um, oh, Regina, yes, I'll contact you then. Thank you.
Oh, awesome.
Awesome, thank you. So we're going to start, hopefully, Tawana, and I'm put her on the spot here, but we kind of already did. We're going to start letting you all know some of the things that we're dreaming about, because as a community, there may be people, things you can help us with that can ultimately get us there. Both Tawana and I have spoken extensively about the growth of the 10K project. We know when we tell people our story, they're in, because they've been looking for something like us. And we know we can be that place where Black founders and investors of all ethnicities, but especially Black investors, have a chance to build wealth like the rich do. And we do that by putting a portion of our portfolio, not the whole thing, a portion of our portfolio into private companies, startups, and growing businesses. And not every business that has been at the 10K project is a complete startup. We've had businesses that are operational. We've had businesses that are producing revenue, so we've had businesses in all sorts of industries. So you're able to see a good mixture. And one of the other big things that I love about the 10K project is every entrepreneur is dynamic. If you want a place for your kids to come and see Black excellence, it ain't flashy, it's not something on the gram, but that are actually doing amazing things Tuesdays at 8 p.m. or the replay on the weekends. If 8 p.m. is kind of late for your kids, it's the place to be.
Yeah, I love that you say not flashy, because we, we're all on social media, right? We're on there right now. So we know what the flashy stuff looks like. And those people can absolutely have success. The thing that I love about our Bet on Black pitches is all of our founders come to us in the most humblest of ways, right? They're all so grateful, first of all, to be here with us, that they're happy that something like this exists for them. They always let their guards down a little bit too, right? And they embrace us. They welcome the questions that we ask them. And they always give us, in my opinion, more than just the pitch, right? We always learn about the industry. Sometimes that could pique our interest, like maybe I should get in that industry. I just think it's the perfect place to share with your family, especially if you have, children at an age where they're starting to think about what they want to be when they grow up, right? And this is the perfect place for them to try to see what all the things are to be. A lot of times, you think you want to be an entrepreneur, but you don't really know what do I want to sell? What do I want to offer? What product or service? Like you don't really know, which is one of the reasons I love the whole buying business concept, right? To kind of tying into our business buying mastermind, because you could be an entrepreneur in these days. You don't have to have an original concept to be an entrepreneur, right? You could buy a business from someone who is retiring. They already have a profitable cash flowing business, and you can still be your own boss, but doing that, taking over someone else's business, right? These are things that I think we need to be sure that we're exposing our young people to, so that they know all of the options, right? Because sometimes we make decisions because all we know is in this little box, right? And the options are not, they're few and far between. And so when we make that box bigger, or actually take the lid off the box, right? And cut the walls off the sides of the box, and we really expose them to everything and all the options, I think that's how we're going to even this playing field. In regards to the business buying, we've got a mastermind going right now that's finishing up. We've got another one starting 2/21. If you guys are members, you get the newsletter. There's a meeting tomorrow, an information session tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to talk about the second session of that mastermind that starts 2/21, to give anyone interested information about it. Seats are filling up in that one fast, but I just think it's something for us to consider, because one of the problems we're solving, right, is so that founders get the capital they need so they can grow, scale, right, and potentially become a unicorn company, right? That's from an investor standpoint. That's what we all want, right? We want them to be a unicorn company.
Tell everyone what that means.
So a unicorn company is a company that's valued at $1 billion. Right. So that's what we're all hoping for as investors, right? That one of these companies becomes a unicorn and we get a good ROI. But think about it. If someone buys a business that's already profitable, already cash flowing, already established, already has a staff, right? And you buy that business and then you continue to innovate and make it efficient, then you're already more than half of the way there, right? So you don't have to necessarily beg for the funding, right? Or go to banks and beg for loans, because this business is already profitable. It's already cash flowing. I think it lets us, when you were young and people got skipped a grade, right? Like that's what this is to me. Like buying the business lets you skip a couple of steps, and you don't have to, kind of the struggle period kind of is eliminated because someone already did the work. And one of the things we talked about the other day is that when these businesses are purchased, they're not Black businesses necessarily to start, right? But when we start buying them, they become Black-owned businesses that are profitable and cash flowing. So if you're interested in that, come to tomorrow's information session. Oh, Cherie just put the link in the chat. Come to tomorrow's information session. We've partnered with a company who does this for a living, right? This is what they do. And so I can tell you, I was in the first session of this mastermind because we wanted, Cherie as well, because we wanted to make sure it was worthy of you guys, right? We wanted to make sure that they were doing a good thing and teaching a good lesson and doing it in a way that people could understand, because we're not just bringing anyone in front of you, right? We're very, very protective of you guys. And so we wanted to make sure that when people come to us with opportunities for you, that it's above board and it's good, right? We don't want subpar for you. And so we went through this course, and I can tell you it's good. I mean, this is week, we're actually week 11. I think this is week 11. It started out, it was going to be a 9-week course, but he had some other stuff he wanted to tack on the end to teach us. So it's become a 12-week course. So now when he offers it going forward, he's made it a 12-week course because he realized 12 was probably the better number anyway. But I feel like I can evaluate a business, right? So I can determine if a business is worth what I need it to be worth. I can analyze the cash flow. I can determine if this business is going to be continuously profitable, right? So I know how to also close the deal, right? I also know how to get investors for this business to pay for the down payment. Also know how to structure the deal so that there is no money down out of my own pocket when I buy this business. Like, I already know all of those things, and it's week 11. So these are the kind of things we're bringing in front of you. So I love that Cherie talked to the $1 billion business buying guide today, because it's going to be cool.
Wait until he comes. Y'all are going to love him.
I'm going to geek out because now I think I know a little something about it, right? I think I know how to buy businesses. That talking to the guy that has bought $1 billion worth of businesses.
Close to 2 billion, 1.6.
Wow,
You're going to round that sucker up.
Yeah. That's going to be a nice conversation for sure.
So a couple of more things, and then we're going to talk about the good news. And tonight we're going to try to get out of here at 7 so y'all can enjoy your Valentine's Day. All right, next thing is, how many of y'all have taken the Wealth Builder quiz? Some of you may be asking, what in the world is this? What are you all talking about? This is a fun quiz. It's a way for you to figure out what type of wealth builder you are. It's also a way for us to grow the 10K Project email list and community. This is something you can share with your family and friends. It's a fun way and educational, and some may feel, I won't say completely accurate, but it's kind of like a horoscope when you look at horoscope. When you look at it, you're like, yeah, I'm a Leo, that's me kind of thing. But it's, what type of wealth builder are you? There are 5 or 6 different options. It's a lot of fun. If some of you have already taken the quiz, I know Talisha's in here, she's taken the quiz. I remember where she is. You all can drop it in the chat as well. If you have not taken it, you can go to wealthbuilderquiz.com. It takes you right to this page here. You can take the quiz now, see what kind of wealth builder you are. And again, share it with your family and friends. It tells you a little bit about yourself. It also tells you ways that you can take your wealth building personality and grow your wealth even more for yourself and your family. And it gets you into our 10K Project universe and world. So wealthbuilderquiz.com. Thank you, Talisha, for putting that in. We have people here who are hustlers, who are freelance millionaires. I know I saw a couple of other people earlier today put their information into Facebook. So definitely you all will want to take that quiz. And again, entertainment purposes only, but it's kind of a wealth personality quiz. So Tawana, do you have, and become a member, the10kproject.com. Become a member, the10kproject.com. I put the links in all of our social media and here in Zoom. So you are able to check out how you can become a member of the 10K Project. So Ready for the good news, Tawana? You have any
Before
other
you get to the good
announcements?
news, I want to touch
Okay.
on put a pin in the become a member thing.
Yes.
You know, for those of you who have been around with us, we've talked about this membership. We've talked about how, you know, the price of it is going up. I just want to say one more time, you know, today's price will not be tomorrow's price. And tomorrow, maybe a month from now, maybe 2 months from now, right? So I just want anyone who's on the fence, this is the lowest price, $100 lifetime membership fee, one time. That is the lowest this membership will ever be. Going forward, it will not be a one-time fee. And so it'll be more like a recurring fee going forward. And that amount is still being discussed right now. But I can tell you, if you're even remotely interested, this is the $100 one-time fee. This is the time to get in. This is the time, because it's not going to be any cheaper. And, you know, I'm biased, of course, but I know you get way more than $100 worth for what we give. I know we do, right? And we do that on purpose. So if you find value in it, now is the time to go ahead and convert to a paid member and get all of the value, because it will not be any cheaper.
Okay. So now that we've shown you love, let's give you some good news.
We got a lot of good news, guys. So much stuff has happened.
So when Tawana asked me, well, what you gonna talk about with regards to the good news? I'm like, I don't know. Let's bounce some ideas off of each other. And we decided to feature good news from the Bet on Black Pitch founders that we have had in the past. So we chose 4 pieces of good news from our Bet on Black Pitch founders, and we have a 5th piece of good news from a 10K project partner that we're super excited about. The reason we want to share the good news with you is if you have invested in any of these companies, you can see how things are headed with them. And there are 2 out of the 4 where you can still invest. So I'll tell you which ones the 2 are, and I'll give you the link. If you are not a Bet on Black Pitch member, you get to see the quality of companies that come and pitch at the Bet on Black Pitches. And, you know, Black people are doing big things right now.
Yeah.
And we have an opportunity to ride a big wave. So with that, I'm going to start off with the first one, which is, oh, I think this is where I want to be. Yeah. Okay. The first one is Pigeon Loans. So Pigeon Loans is a company that came to us and they did a Bet on Black Pitch. Full disclosure, this is one that's in my portfolio. So we'll be honest about that, just for SEC purposes and all of that stuff. But Pigeon Loans was accepted into Y Combinator. Put a 1 in the chat if you've heard of Y Combinator. Put a 2 in the chat if you've never heard of Y Combinator. A 1 in the chat if you've heard of Y Combinator, a 2 if you have not heard. So most people have heard of Y Combinator. Okay, I'm starting to see more 2s coming through. Mm-hmm. Oh, Kate, you all are in for a treat with regards to Y Combinator. Y Combinator is one of the most successful accelerators in the world. An accelerator is a place where companies go in order to grow their businesses, in order to get additional capital, in order to launch and grow. Y Combinator is pretty much the best. It's like going to the Harvard of accelerators. They have an extremely, extremely stringent process for people to get in. You see all these white people here, and this is the time I will say this, you know, these white people here. Okay, we got in. Pigeon Loans got in. So, because sometimes I have to say it because it's not like you're just going against other minorities. You're going against the entire globe.
Everyone, right? It's not just
globe, right. Not just United States.
Yeah.
The best of the best companies across the globe try to get in here.
And the other thing about Y Combinator that's pretty cool is, so you guys know that some of the deals that we present to you, they're safe notes, right? We talk about the simple agreement for future equity.
Yes.
Y Combinator created that. So not only are they the accelerator to be a part of, they've got, so much clout that they can create an equity type.
Yes.
I mean, come on.
They probably have lobbyists on Capitol Hill. It wouldn't surprise me. One of the co-founders is actually a Black, well, he says he's Black. He looks biracial, I don't know, but he says he's Black, Michael Siebel.
Still Black.
If you're super interested, you can go onto their YouTube channel. They have really, really, really good education on their YouTube channel. They probably have it other places as well, but I'm into YouTube.
So this picture is very telling. Look at the picture. Even before you go back to the article, look at that picture.
Yeah, when it
that
comes
picture
up
is very telling on how many of us get in. When it scrolls back around, look at that group picture.
It should be, I think it should be after this woman here. Okay, y'all can see that picture there.
No, it's
right?
the next one.
I know.
But that one's a good one too.
That one's telling too.
That one's telling
This is telling. I don't want people to miss it. There you go.
Look at that.
Take a look. All right, everybody.
So congratulations to Brian Bristol and his Pigeon Loans team. Congratulations to them.
Twice a year, they invest $500,000 per company in a large number of startups. They have things called demo days that they do. They have venture capitalists that fight to get into Y Combinator to see the startups that are working within there. I want 10K Project to be a version of Y Combinator. In fact, when we first got started, that was one of the things that I said. Since 2005, they have funded over 3,000 startups, 7,000 founders, $600 billion in value, over 70,000 jobs created. Stripe, Airbnb, DoorDash, Dropbox, Coinbase, Instacart. Look at these companies that they have put money into, grown, molded, etc. Who says we can't do this? Who says we can't be a part of this? When I say be a part of it, I mean be a part of equity crowdfunding. We have the ability to. In 2005, if you didn't have a certain amount of money, you couldn't get into doing these types of investments. And now we can,
right?
Thanks to the Jobs Act of 2012. So again, congratulations to Pigeon Loans. Unfortunately, this is not open.
One's closed, yeah.
It is closed, but congratulations to Pigeon Loans for getting into Y Combinator. The next one is Blue Egg. Blue Egg is a company that was with us a couple of weeks ago, and they did a bet on Black pitch. They do all sorts of textiles and home decor and things like that. And the good news about Blue Egg is they are exclusively at Macy's. The clean design home products are at Macy's. So congratulations to Blue Egg.
Yes.
Their campaign just so happens to still be open on Republic. And I'm going to put in our 10K Project link. So I should have given it to Talisha before we got on, but that's okay. I grabbed it.
She may have it readily available, but let me talk a little bit about Blue Egg a little bit. So Robin Wilson is the founder of Blue Egg. And about 15 years ago, Robin Williams was found by Oprah. She was her celebrity was created by Oprah, right? So, we know how Oprah has that magic touch. And Robin faced some challenges in her life, but she knew this business was going to be her legacy. And so, she got back out there, and to get in Macy's is something awesome. She started in Bed Bath & Beyond, and then now she's in Macy's. I purchased the pillows. We joked on pitch night because people were buying up, people were putting in the links to the comforters and the pillows and the towels. It was that was a good pitch night. First of all, it was a phenomenal pitch. And then it was kind of like everybody was putting in the link to the Macy's thing. So it was pretty cool because, she has to, we always have to prove ourselves, right? So I know we all know that, right? That's not a secret. It's not an urban legend. We always have to prove ourselves. And so Robin has to prove herself even with being able to stay on the Macy's shelves, right? So the coolest things and they make a determination based on how many units she sells. And they consider a unit even one thing. So if you buy a face cloth, that's a unit to them, and she gets credit for that. But where she got really, really lucky is some of the other supply chain, some of the other companies that were going to be on the shelves had supply chain issues. And Robin has zero supply chain issues because when I tell you she got the plug, she got the plug. So she don't have any supply chain issues. They had to go in the back and put her stuff on the shelves early so that the shelves wouldn't be empty. So that's how awesome that is. The other thing that's pretty cool is there's a real estate play with this. So this is not just a company that sells textiles and design. She's building in the process of, and I'm telling y'all way too much because some of y'all ain't members and y'all getting better on Black Pitch information right now, but that's okay. I'm hoping I'm giving you something good you're going to go and join. But she's got some land and they're building a subdivision, a community of homes that will all be designed by Blue Egg Corp, and a portion of the equity or the portion of the equity from that deal belongs to Blue Egg Corp, which means when you invest in Blue Egg Corp, you also get a piece of the real estate play. You don't just get the towels and the pillows and you don't just get all of that. This was a great pitch. This is one that if anybody missed the actual pitch, I think you should go back and watch the replay. Sometimes you don't have to watch the replay. It's okay to just go to the campaign link and watch their video and invest. But this was one that I think to understand everything that's in that Blue Egg Corporation. So I think there were like 5 different brands that roll into Blue Egg Corp. So it wasn't just about the textile stuff. This was a really good one. I think they're all good, right? But this was definitely one that you want to go back and listen because when it's more than one brand, right, from an investor standpoint, this is not financial advice. This is just little old Tawanda Rivers talking, right? When it's more than one brand that rolls into the deal, I get excited, right? When it's not just when they've got like 5 or 6 things going on, but then they say, but this is just, you're just investing in this part today, right? I don't get as excited. But when they say, these are the 5 balls I got in the air and they all are under this umbrella and you get a piece of all of that when they happen, my little spidey senses get excited.
So this has been an amazing company. It's still open. So again, do your research. Even though someone did say up here that they went to 3 Macy's before they could find our products, Lisa. So
and they were sold out, really?
Well, she said we need to advocate for her at Macy's because I had to go to 3 Macy's before I could find her products.
So
we
it
don't know
wasn't that they weren't there. They weren't in every Macy's.
Or they weren't in every Macy's. But either way, actually, it's so Sarah Blakely of Spanx. She had her friends going to different Targets. No, it couldn't have been Target. It was some store, Saks or something like that, and asking for her product. And then finally, they had so many inquiries that the salespeople started contacting corporate saying, we keep getting inquiries for this thing called Spanx. And that was actually how she got in. So look,
okay,
you have to fake it till you make it. Our girl Robin doesn't. All we have to do is go, like you said, and ask for her product if we don't see it there.
And I can tell you, I bought the pillows, loved them. So if anybody else bought anything, put it in the chat if you bought something, because by now you would have received it from Macy's because they deliver fast. But if you got any of Robin's products from Macy's on pitch night or since pitch night, please put in the chat how you like them. I love the pillows, and I actually am getting ready to buy some towels.
Yeah. And I mentioned this to Tawana, I think earlier today by email, but we hadn't talked about it when I was speaking with somebody with regards to the impact that the 10K project has. He told me that we should also be calculating how much in consumer purchases we're doing as a community as well, because as we're going out and speaking to people about the amount of money that we're raising and the other data points that we have, them knowing the consumer effect that we're having, buying from other Black businesses is also going to be an important data point as well. So we may be adding that to our investor survey. We're going to be doing an investor survey every quarter, so 4 times a year. So we have people in here saying that they can the inquiries be done online through corporate as well? Sure, Stephen. V. Hayes, I purchased a mattress cover online. Love it. Fantastic. Tasita saying, love my pillows. Going to buy a comforter too. Fantastic. Aura is saying, if you're a member already and want to upgrade, do you just pay the difference between the two? Great
Yes, ma'am.
question. Yes, yes. The answer is you only have to pay the difference between the platinum membership and the gold membership. So you log into the Knowledge Center, you go to my account, you'll see something that says upgrade to platinum membership. You click that button and it'll only charge you the difference. Thank you so much for asking that, Aura.
And I see Gerald says, Gerald's question here was that I want to post 10K links to the various projects on my website. Can I just pull them from my portal? As long as you're just posting the campaign links, Gerald, yes. So any replays, we don't want you to post those because those are member only benefits, right? To be able to see the pitch replays. But if you want to post the campaign link, then absolutely. It's best if you pull that custom one that we create for them. But you absolutely can repost the campaign links. Actually, we encourage that. That's how we are able to share the campaigns with so many people, right? One of the things that we always ask for at the end of the presentation is to share, right? We want as many eyes on these various campaigns as possible. Again, if you want to see the replay, you have to be a member, but anyone can have access to the campaign link.
Yeah, we had talked about that back and forth, but our goal is to help Black founders get funding. So, but we will say this, there is an excitement and there's always information that you get from the replays that's not necessarily, you don't gather it from scrolling through the Republic page or the WeFunder page or the seat at the table page. So I love listening to the Bob's Live or by replay, especially when I'm like walking, power walking and things like that in the morning. That's when I love to do those types of things. So next is a company called Needle. Needle is Allende, and he came to us one day and talked about his social media / voice platform. And we were like, you gotta reopen that. We need to invest in your project. So he did, but in the meantime, he also joined one of Google's, it's a Google for Startup Accelerator. So again, this was very competitive. Google only named 12 voice app platform providers to participate in its first Google for Startups Accelerator. Only 12. And I don't know how many companies applied, but I'm sure there were hundreds, if not thousands of companies. And this was global. And Needle, there it is there, Needle was one of them that was selected. So Google is going to be working with these companies in order to help with the technology and things like that. And I'll tell you one of the interesting things when I initially heard Allende talk about Needle, I was like, wow, this is something that Google would actually buy one day. So many of you asked, for example, how do we as investors get repaid? Most of the time, it's because these companies are purchased. Sometimes they will do an IPO, meaning they'll go on the stock exchange. Sometimes they'll have so much cash that they will buy investors out, or you'll get an extended dividend. But a lot of times startup companies are sold to bigger companies. So I'm not saying that's what Needle's going to do or anything like that. But when we're listening to companies and we're able to think about what their exit plans are, what they could be, a lot of times it's an acquisition play.
Yeah,
So
and I just want to talk a moment, Cherie. So for those who are not familiar with Needle, but we are all, I think we're all familiar with Clubhouse, right? Needle actually, so they're still a voice platform, right? Audio platform. Needle actually started before Clubhouse, right? His project went live before Clubhouse. The difference is Clubhouse received the funding that they needed to get the word out, right? And Allende didn't. So Allende had, so when Cherie says he reopened his campaign, Allende had an equity crowdfunding campaign last year, earlier in the year. Actually, it may have even been late 2019 or 2020. Sorry, 2020. My years are mixed up. 2020. And he raised a little bit of money. He didn't raise all that he needed, right? Then Clubhouse has the big boom. They get money dropped into them, big marketing plan. All the Black people rush to Clubhouse, right? And nobody knows who Needle is. So when we heard about Allende, he was coming really to tell us about his platform, not to raise money, right? Because that campaign was already closed. It wasn't until we were like, wait a minute, this is what we do. Why aren't you raising money on that? And he was like, well, I did, and we were like, you got to start, you got to do another one. Like, you have to do another one, and we have to help you get the word out, right? And so he ended up opening a new equity crowd. He switched platforms and opened a new equity crowdfunding campaign, much to what I believe was our encouraging him to do so. But the Needle story for me is, when people say, what's your why, right? The Needle story for me is my why, because there's no reason that he came out first, right? And has more features. So has a more, by the industry standards, not by Tawana standards, by the industry standards, he's got more features and his platform is better, right? But because he didn't get the money he needed, nobody knows his name, but we all know Clubhouse. That's my why. We got to stop doing that. We have to be able to know who these Black founders are that are doing the same thing that we're supporting that's not Black, right? And so Needle's a good company that I think we all need to look into. His campaign is still open. He's only got a few days to invest. And I feel like
he's got 4 days, everybody.
And I feel like his already extended. So I think he already extended his. I could be wrong, but I feel like his already got extended, which means these 4 days are the last 4 days. Sometimes it'll say 4 days, and then in 4 days, you'll see 62 days left, right? But I think he already extended this.
Yeah, so again, full disclosure, I'm also a Needle investor.
I'm a Needle investor as well.
Yes. So a lot of times, like Tawana was saying, when we talk about our whys here, a lot of times the reason that Black companies don't make it is lack of resources. And lack of resources primarily is lack of capital. There was a Morgan Stanley report that said that when our companies are funded properly, we make just as much money as any other ethnically founded group out there. There are also reports out there that says when VCs see a Black founder, they say, we've never seen a Black founder reach $1 billion in valuation. Well, now they have with Calendly, right? But now it's, oh, we've only seen one, we got to see more. These venture capitalists are not going to believe in our companies until we believe in them. Well, I shouldn't say it like that. I'm going to say it is important for us to uplift these companies. They will get there faster, and more companies can get funded, and more companies can get funded if we come together and do the lifting up first.
And I'll even go on a limb and say, if we come up and do the lifting first, they may not need the other support.
That's true.
Right? They may not need it because to get, and I got nothing against VC, right? I'm not a financial advisor, but I got nothing against VCs. I think they're a great option for people who are willing to give up something in order to get that funding, right? But you do have to give up something to get that funding. And in all fairness, you got to give up something to get our funding too, right? Because we're investing, right, for equity. But the give up is different, right? The give up is, the scale is like this, right? I mean, we've all watched Shark Tank, right? I want 75% of your company for $30,000 versus, so we all know conceptually what it is that they're giving up. If we come to the table first, they may not have to give up as much. And then that's more wealth that stays in the Black community, right? That's more wealth that founder now has to build his or her generational wealth portfolio.
And we don't have to have another Calendly where the Black entrepreneur was scared to tell anybody that he was a Black man running a company because he was scared the valuation was going to go down, or he wouldn't be able to raise the funds, or people wouldn't use his platform. I would love to see a day where no matter what color you are, if you're a Black founder and you have a great program and a great platform, we're treated as equitable as possible. Well, you know what? The VCs are going to treat us equitably when our founders can say, I don't need you. I've got the 10K project over here. I've got, this group of people over here who could give me just as much funding with better terms than you do. That's how we can build a power base. That's Powernomics 2.0, quite frankly. So
look at Kiara's note. She says she was at an event last week and saw a black-owned business pitch that had 22 million in revenue already, and they got no offers for acquisition or VC capital.
Wow, Kiara.
What?
You know what?
I'm
not surprised. I'm not surprised.
I am, and I'm appalled. Oh my goodness. Like, how much is enough to prove ourselves?
Yeah, there are. So when I was doing the founder testimonials, they started telling me stories and things like that. And I knew the industry was bad. I didn't know how bad it was. And they said, it was like the recordings were off. Like, Cherie, you can never say this. At one point, one day when I have exited, blah, 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 I'm going to do a tell-all kind of thing. And multiple people said this to me. It is a problem. It is a problem.
Oh, I know it's a problem, right? Because I'm talking to them too, but 22 million in revenue, none of the ones we presented yet have already had 22 million in revenue. You come to the table with 22 million in revenue and you still can't get the time of day. We got to change it. We got to change it so that founder doesn't even need to be there asking for anything. Yeah. We have to change it. We need to get to this million members so that we can change it. I don't know if we shared this with the community, Cherie, but Cherie and I have this outrageous goal, right? We got that term from David Walker, was the CEO of Positivity Water. So any of you who saw his presentation or his pitch, Star Walker Industries out of Atlanta, got a water company. And he has this wall behind him, his outrageous goals. And when he and I were talking, I was like, step behind you. And he told me about his outrageous goal. He was like, you want to put one up here? Send me one. So I called Cherie and I was like, I just talked to this founder and he's got this wall and what's our outrageous goal? And we were like, started bouncing back and we were like, we want to raise the $5 million cap. We want to do it for a founder and we want to do it in 48 hours. So we want this community to be big enough, right? That in 48 hours, we put a campaign link out there and a founder reaches their 5 million. We know it's doable because Arlen Hamilton did it in 9 hours, right? She raised, but she's a venture capitalist. She's got she's got a big following. She's an amazing Black woman. If you haven't heard of Arlen Hamilton, please research her. She's amazing, but she's been in the industry for a while and she comes with respect and all of that stuff. So she did it in 9 hours, right? So when you think about little old Cherie and I, right? She did it for her own company too. So you think about little old Cherie and I putting a campaign link out there for another founder, right? That may not have that same brand recognition already, but we've got the brand recognition, right? 10K comes with the star power, right? And we put that link out there and in 48 hours, that founder has raised their $5 million. And then guess what? We do it again next week. Right? Because again, we know it only takes what? $100 from 10,000 of us, right? To get $1 million, right? So if we just multiply that by 5, right? So it's either $500 from 10,000 or $100 from 50,000, right? We can do it. So the fact that we want 1 million people in the community, that's awesome. But we don't even need 1 million to do this, right? If we really do this. But that's the kind of thing we want to do. We want that $22 million revenue company to not have to go begging and be overlooked because they are good enough here. That's a win. That's a success in my book. I don't know what book VCs are looking in, but $22 million on your own without anybody's help, that's a win.
So Charlotte is saying here, first one, Joyce is asking the name Arlen Hamilton, Arlan Hamilton is her name. Another person who's done it is Dawn Dixon. So we've had Black people actually raise money. It's very, very few and far between that they've raised $5 million, but we've done it. We've done it. So Charlotte is saying here that happened one time on Shark Tank. A 15-year-old whose business Spurgo was already doing so well, expected to raise 2.2 million this year and just needed 300,000. And I was like, why doesn't he know about 10K? If Damon hadn't been there, he would not have had an investor. See that on Shark Tank over and over. Yeah. Now I will say one thing about Shark Tank though. Sometimes they plan in advance who's going to do the deal, who's not going to do the deal. A lot of Shark Tank is a little dramatic. This is my understanding from people who know the back end of Shark Tank. So, sometimes the investors on Shark Tank, the sharks, already have the deal and they put them on TV for them to get publicity. So just, recognize that Shark Tank is reality TV. And I'm not saying that was it for this company. I'm just saying overall.
The thing I love about Shark Tank most is when they don't take the deal and we learn about an amazing Black-owned business, right? Yeah. You think about Curl Mix, they didn't get the deal. You think about Lip Bar, they didn't get the deal. Like you think about all of these companies that didn't get the deal, and now they are $1 million companies because we saw the community saw the value in them,
and
right?
rushed to the store.
Yeah.
So this is, I always tell y'all about companies. Well, I always tell you that sometimes I listen to a Bet on Black pitch. I'm like, I'm gonna come back to that company and I don't, and I miss out. This is one of the companies. But Serena and Michael B. Jordan got into this company and I didn't. TrackFlow came to us. They were one of our Bet on Black pitch founders. And they received $1 million from Serena and Michael B. Jordan. This is them with their picture here. They actually have a software program for construction. And I really was very interested in their project. They actually have, like, whenever you have change orders, you're doing like a rehab of your house or a renovation or things like that, it's very difficult for you to keep up with all the change orders as the owner, as well as the construction company has a difficult time keeping up with all the change orders. And TrackFlow has a SaaS program that solves that issue. And they got Serena there. So somebody had mentioned Serena before tonight. So you got Michael B. Jordan there. You have others who have invested in TrackFlow. Again, their campaign is closed, but congratulations to TrackFlow for getting that investment.
Yeah.
So the final is Crowd Wall Street. Now, this is not a company that is raising money. This is actually a Black-owned equity crowdfunding portal that reached out to us when they were going through, or actually when they were beginning the process of getting their FINRA and SEC approval. And Tawana helped them out, gave them some ideas and things like that, really helped them out. And because of Tawana and the Crowd Wall Street guys coming together, they have officially been approved as the third Black-owned equity crowdfunding portal that's out there. So there's By the Block.
And I want to restate that. They're the third that do non-accredited investors, because there are additional Black-owned portals that only work with accredited investors. So they are the third that does non-accredited investors.
That does non-accredited investors, which is like for the rest of us to be able to participate. So there's By the Block, there's Seat at the Table, which you all have met, Pierre at Seat at the Table, and then there's TL and Jamsky who runs Crowd Wall Street. So if you are an entrepreneur thinking about doing equity crowdfunding, you can consider now working with them. They are very focused on education, and we are working with them, of course, doing the Bet on Black pitch and building up the investors. One of the reasons why we did not become a portal, excuse me, is because if you're a portal, then you have limited things you can do and say with regards to building an investor crowd and an investor group. So Seat at the Table, Crowd Wall Street, these companies really look to us to help build these crowds in these communities. And our community requires a lot of education because this is a new asset class for so many of us. So go ahead, Tawana.
I just want to add, so I got really close with the Crowd Wall Street guys, right? Because we worked through getting them there, and they got their approval on their own, right? They did that. All that was them, right? I'm not taking credit for anything they did. I will tell you, they are two amazing gentlemen. They really are. And, you know, they ran into some delays that wasn't caused by them, right? It was just, you know, they didn't get the best account manager, right? In my opinion, and would cause some delays. They never gave up. They stayed, you know, tenacious through the process and optimistic through the process, and, you know, strong in their faith that they knew this was gonna, you know, turn out, and it did. And so actually earlier today, their portal went live. So it is actually a live portal. So not only did they get their approval, but the portal is live, and they are at the point now where they can actually take founders. So, you know, I'll be very transparent. You know, when we recommend a portal, we're going to tell founders about all the options, right? But we're going to absolutely tell them about the Black options as well, right? And we're going to make sure they understand what the benefits are, and what they can get, and what kind of mentorship that comes along with it, right? Where you're not just a number or a person or business in the queue, right? This is huge. This is huge. And Kiera, you know, Cherie kind of explained it a little bit. We are not striving to be a portal. We decided as we were going through that FINRA process, and we were building our own crowd, right? And we were building our own customer base. As we were talking to entrepreneurs, it was very hard to kind of take in that so many of them didn't know that this option was out there in order to raise capital, right? Investors definitely didn't know, right? The everyday investor that now had the opportunity to invest in startups didn't know what the heck we were talking about. And so we had a really difficult decision to make. Do we continue on the portal road where, you know, you get a percentage of raise and all of that stuff, and that's great? Or do we educate our people, right? Because once you know a thing and you still do something else, there's something that kind of sits in your spirit, and it doesn't sit easy, right? And it just felt a little dirty for me anyway, I speak for myself. It felt a little dirty knowing that our community, because now we know, we didn't have any excuses, right? We asked enough questions that now we know nobody knew about this. So if nobody knows about this, how are we going to change the trajectory of lives? How are we going to build wealth and all of that stuff? And so we took a very hard step back and said, being the portal would have been great, but we got to educate our people. We have to let our people know that this option is out there, and we have to be there for them. And so, of course, we were, you know, what do we do with the crowd? We were building for ourselves. And that's when we said, the mission is still the same. The mission didn't change, right? We're just not a portal. but we're still helping companies get funding, right? And we're still helping investors build wealth. That was the mission all along. And so based on, our testimonial this earlier when we started, that we've raised over $300,000 for founders, right? That means that many of us, right? 200 people filled out the survey. So at the very least, we know 200 of us now have portfolios that include these Black businesses that hopefully will one day generate wealth. So the mission has been accomplished. We are exactly who we were supposed to be, and what we're doing is exactly in line with what we intended to do. We're just not doing it under the guise of a portal. Now we're an education company, right? We're a crowd building company. So now these founders can come to us and say, I don't have the rich auntie, right? I don't already know 10,000 of my own friends. Can you put this in front of your community and help us raise the money we need so that we can get this amazing product or project off the ground? So the mission has been accomplished here.
Yeah. So thank you so much, everybody, for the things that you're putting in the chat. We're going to grow. We're going to get the word out. My goal is for us to be like Ebony, Jet, BET, etc., where everybody knows the 10K project, and people also favorably have favorable opinions about the 10K project and what we're doing. And that is the work that Tawana and I just do so much every day in order to push that message out. It is getting out there. It's one of those things where with anything, it's like slow, slow, slow. And then all of a sudden something's going to happen and it's just going to spike. And the biggest thing that somebody told us about 2 weeks ago is you all have to be ready for the spike when it happens. She said, get your ducks in a row. There's a couple more ducks in a row that we need, even though we're like pushing forward with getting membership and getting the word out. A couple more ducks we're getting in a row as well, so that we are able to achieve our mission. I was invited to be on a panel last year, and one of the other panelists said that the SBA, when the Equity Crowdfunding Jobs Act of 2012 was actually developed, the SBA was put in charge of educating people, everyday investors, about equity crowdfunding, and they haven't done it. And other communities have people who already were investing, and other people started investing. We didn't have that. The 10K project is, in my opinion, the way that we build this crowd. It is the way that we get to educate people. It is the way that we are able to talk about how everyday people can build wealth through investing potentially in Black Start. I have to say it, potentially build wealth just for SEC purposes, right? You can build a portfolio. You can do what Warren Buffett does. You can do what all of these other VCs and angel investors do. You could do what Damon John does, and you could do it with as little as $100 per company, and build a great portfolio and help the Black founder. So that's what we work on every day, is making this as successful a community as possible. I know we went over by 10 minutes. I will give the floor to Tawana. I see so many.
Gerald and Kevin, I told her hair was on fleek on Friday. Doesn't she look beautiful? I told her
you
too.
Guys.
The hair is everything.
Oh, thank you guys. Thank you.
Oh, Jackie says, I have an idea. How about a 10K project magazine about past founder success stories and upcoming education sessions?
That's interesting. We'll think about that. Especially if you want to lead it.
Magazine. So that's funny.
Yes.
One of our founders, I don't know if you guys remember Leedy. She had the My Dental Wig. Mm-hmm. She's got a magazine. Leedy got everything. She got a magazine, she got a calendar, but she got a magazine, and she highlighted 10K in her magazine. And her magazine goes global, Africa, France, as well as circulating in the United States. So kudos to Lidi Livosi. Her project was My Dental Wig, and her campaign is still open as well. It's on Pick Me crowdfunding, and it's a removable implant is what it is. But check that one out too.
Yeah.
See, all y'all non-members, y'all getting all the tips tonight.
No, you're not getting all
the tips.
You're not getting all. We probably have a good 20 campaigns that are open, and we gave you 5. And yeah, so if you want to see the full portfolio, every Monday and Thursday we send an email out of all of the open campaigns. So check your emails with regards to that. And there are plenty that you can still invest in. And tomorrow's pitch, Tawana, who is tomorrow's better?
So tomorrow's founder is established streaming service.
Say that again.
An established streaming service.
All right.
That's the little taste, little nugget.
Pamela, the $50 membership isn't coming back for a while.
Pamela, that's gone. Pamela, I just talked about the membership increasing. That $50 ain't never going to come back again.
We have a roadmap for entire 2022, and that isn't on.
It's not on it. The $100 right now, Pamela, is the lowest this membership will be.
Yeah,
it is.
You know, the $100 is definitely worth it. It's definitely worth it. All the stuff that's in the Knowledge Center, all the things that we're doing. Membership, can you start at gold and advance to platinum? Absolutely, you can start at gold. Yeah, you get the only thing that the platinum has additional is a 6 months of custom financial planning with Freeman Capital, who's our partner with that. But all of the Knowledge Center stuff, adding yourself to the expert directory, attending the Bet on Black pitches, you have the opportunity to access the business buying mastermind. We are looking at doing a couple of other masterminds. We have the partners in place. We're signing, documents and going through stuff and all of that.
I am so surprised you're not giving hints. You always give hints for stuff like that.
You want me to
I want to give the hints.
Put a 1 in the chat if y'all want me to give a hint. Put a 2.
You want to know what other masterminds we've got coming.
All right, the ones are coming. Okay, we have a mastermind session for. Can I say the person's name, or do I just say?
Nope. Just the industry. Just the industry.
Real estate.
Real estate mastermind.
We have a real estate mastermind coming. The second potentially is a stock mastermind coming. The third potentially tax lien mastermind coming. So those are the 3 that we're working on now.
We're talking about empowering you all to build wealth, right? And the way to do that is not through get rich quick schemes. The way to do that is educating yourself on a new skill set where you can make money, right? Yeah. And so that's what the business buying is about. That's what the tax liens will be about. That's what real estate will be about. Teaching you how to do the thing that will generate wealth, right? Yeah. That is our mission.
Yeah. And one of the big things is we didn't want it to just be informational. We wanted you to also be able to purchase whatever the asset is, through the course or the mastermind, or because of it. With the real estate, it may not be as easy, but like with stock investing, we're even looking at like, here are the apps, you can use. Like, I literally was in bed one night and I'm like, yeah. And this was like when the pandemic first started. I'm like, I think Lowe's and Home Depot are going to do well. And I think that at the time, the travel, like all of the hotels and things like that had dropped. I'm like, I think that those are going to come back in a couple of years. I'm literally sitting in bed buying stocks like I'm on Amazon buying shoes. I'm like, this is so cool. This is so cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, we want you to be empowered to not only get the information, but to buy and to invest in things. So all right, I see a couple of hands up. Aura, Alois, do you all really need to have your hands up? Put a one in the chat if you do. Otherwise, we're going to head out.
Yeah, last thing I'll say, Bet on Black
I'll
Pitch
say a one.
tomorrow at 8. We really want you to come and be there live if you're a member. Don't forget, we've got that incentive still going, right? We had a winner last week. Lloyd won. So what that is if you come to a Bet on Black Pitch live, you get your name in a drawing every time you come, right? And then the first Tuesday of the next month, we pick a winner, and you can win either $100 cash or cash value. So it could be a gift card to like Amazon or Visa or whatever. Or you get an upgrade from the gold to the platinum, which is worth $247. So we're super excited about that. And then also, if you're interested in finding out more about the February 22nd or February 21st business buying mastermind session that begins, tomorrow is the information session for that. So, just think about the dates. The 15th is tomorrow. Class starts on 2/21. We've already had a preliminary information session with some early bird people who had interest a few weeks ago. And so the seats are filling up, but there are seats available. And so if you're interested in that, come to that session tomorrow. I believe it's in the events page on Facebook, and it's also in your newsletter, the link to register for that.
It's in your newsletter and it is on Facebook, and it's even in the event directory on the website. So if you go to
Awesome.
the 10kproject.com, click on events, and you'll see it there. Aura, yes, you can unmute yourself.
Yes, one of my questions was already answered. So I'm already a member. If I want to upgrade to the platinum, I just pay the difference, correct?
That is
Yes,
correct.
ma'am.
Okay. And then the second question I had is, can we get mentors through the 10K project?
What would you like to be mentored in?
Entrepreneurship, like planning going forward. Because I have two businesses. I have a for-profit, and then I have a non-profit. But marketing, how to market, getting investors into the 503C, that type of stuff.
So I see Cherie's wheels turning. I'll say a couple of things, and I'll let her kind of bring it home. So have you yet utilized the Knowledge Center to look for any business coaches or marketing experts that maybe they have, they do a 30-minute or an hour consult where they could give you some information on kind of where to start? Have you done any of that yet, utilizing the Knowledge Center?
And is that Knowledge Center in the Facebook group,
If you go on the website, the 10kproject.com website, at the top right, you'll see it says Knowledge Center. You can log in there. It's for members. So if you're a gold member, you can log in there, and that'll bring you to our Knowledge Center of resources. It has all of our previous webinars that we've done with people. I like to say it's very nicely laid out. I really love the layout of it. Easy to find things that you're looking for. There's a search bar where you can put in marketing, you can put in business coach. And I know we've got some business coaches in there, because I actually got a call the other day. Someone was looking for a business coach, and that's where I went, to the Knowledge Center. And it was pretty cool, because two people that I know personally are business coaches. So I was able to give them as a reference, because I trust them. I don't trust everybody else, but I couldn't vouch for anybody else because I don't know them. But there's also in there a place where you can create your own profile, right? Your expert directory profile, so that we all know what your business is as well. So that if we're looking for your expertise, right, or service or product, we can find you too. So for members, you want to utilize that expert directory for sure, because it's a way for you to get some free marketing. Not free, because you already paid for it, right? It's part of the gold membership. And then also for anyone else, it's a way for them to find you. Cherie, what would you like to add for Aura?
Well, I was going to say the expert directory. So you and I were thinking the exact same thing is is checking the expert directory for that.
And the other thing I would say is Aura, and I know there's some marketing stuff out there. The other thing I would say is send us an email at info@10K, or you can send me directly one at trivers@the10kproject.com, and kind of list out the things you want to know more about. If we don't already have that resource, that lets Cherie and I know we need to add that to the rotation, right? We fill a whole year up with calendar topics. You may be able to add some topics that we haven't yet thought about that we can get a professional to come and talk to you about those things.
Yeah, so I'll admit that we were doing like small business sessions, but we didn't think that anybody was, paying attention and interested and all of that stuff. So we had stopped doing that. But if we determine that no, the community really does want us to start that up again and get active with doing those small business sessions, then we will consider adding that back into our calendar. So
Okay, great. And if I switch over to platinum, will that delete my founding member status?
no, we're like the mob. You're in for life, girl. No.
Okay, great. Ladies, thank you. I really appreciate and I love listening to this. This is
Thank you.
awesome,
Thank you so
phenomenal.
much.
So glad you're getting value out of it. So thank you.
Yes, absolutely. All right, Pamela, I'm gonna let you up. I know you have something to say, so.
Pamela, Cherie sent you the link. You got the link. You don't have to sign up. She sent it to you.
You can unmute yourself, Pamela. Charlotte saying, I really enjoyed tonight to get the updates. Yes, we're going to have to do this again sometime because it was fun to kind of reminisce of the things that, we've had going on and to talk about the founders that are doing great things. So Pamela going once, going twice, and.
Oh, hello, can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you now.
No, I was just asking about the link. Is this up here? Because I just got back into town and I'm just able to participate in the focus group.
So Pamela's one of our focus group one of our founders that was selected for the focus group. So Pamela,
okay.
Cherie sent you the link that you need, and it gets you right into the course.
I
So
know,
you
where
don't
did she send it to?
It would have been.
Wait,
Go ahead.
If you can just email me info@the10kproject.com, I'll send it to you again.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it went to your Steam Trackers email, though. I think that's the one I gave her. So check both your emails. I think it went to your Steam Trackers, though.
No, I know that. It's just that what is in the subject line because I don't see it.
Well, go ahead and email Cherie.
Focus group or something like that. Yeah.
Email info at what?
info@the10kproject.com. And I'll send it to you again.
And Charlotte, I see your note here. That's okay, Charlotte. Just as long as you're watching those replays, even if you can't come live, you want to definitely watch those replays so you don't miss out because we've got some amazing founders coming through every single week.
Yeah. So Beulah is asking if the session tomorrow is only for platinum members. No, the business buying information session is for gold members. The Bet on Black pitch is for gold members. The only thing that platinum members get access to is the one-on-one custom financial planning, or the only additional thing I should say. The additional benefit that platinum members have is the one-on-one custom financial planning, 6 months of custom one-on-one financial planning that you have with Freeman Capital.
And actually,
else that we offer is in our gold package.
And actually, the business buying information session is open to anyone that gets that link. You just have to be a member before you can start the class. So if you want to come to that information session and hear about it, that may be the thing that makes you decide, okay, I'm going to join. So come on and learn about it.
Cecilia saying, just join. Thanks. Thank you so much.
Oh,
Cecilia.
awesome. Thank
Glad to
you.
have you. Glad to
Welcome.
have you. All right. I don't see any other questions in here. I want to thank everyone here on Zoom. I want to thank you on YouTube, Dr. Virginia, Latrice. I see y'all, we're doing a whole bunch of chatting here in YouTube. Thank you to everybody on Facebook and Twitter as well. And happy Valentine's Day to
Happy
everybody.
Valentine's Day. Glad you guys could share it with us.
Yes.
Now go
Take
love on
care.
yourself a little bit.
Go love on yourself. Love everybody else. We'll see you tomorrow or next week. Take care.